Volvo Sign and Drive sales event. Lease a 2007 Volvo S40 for $329 a month for 36 months. Zero cash due at signing. No security deposit required. Excludes taxes and registration fees. Visit your tri-state area Volvo retailer.
Our Sign and Drive sales event is the perfect time to go to a Volvo retailer. We know you'll hear the answers you want, as long as you want shocking ones. Volvo for life.
Hi, I'm Jan Levin, president of Purity Products. Against the better judgment of my managers and advisors, I've just authorized a nationwide giveaway of my ultra-pure omega-3 fish oil capsules. That's right. Find out how to get a free bottle when you call now. You know how important fish oil is, but not just for your heart. It has powerful benefits for wrinkled skin, stiff joints, even focus and concentration. That's why I've authorized a free bottle of our omega-3 fish oil to anyone who calls now. You'll also get a free book, The New Truth About Vitamins and Minerals, with your free bottle. If you're even curious about what fish oil can do for you, let me send you a free bottle. I know you'll feel the difference. Our fish oil capsules have up to 3 times the power of ordinary fish oil, and they're mercury-free. Listen, experience the miracle of fish oil. Try it before you buy it. Get yourself a free bottle and a free book by calling 1-800-400-9129. 1-800-400-9129. That's 1-800-400-9129.
You know the drill. Just a pill to get through the flight, or maybe a glass of wine, maybe an antidepressant to help control your anxiety and depression, maybe a nerve pill here and there just to help you cope, maybe a drink at night just to take the edge off. And that second drink, well, who's counting? But nobody knows how much you worry, how stressed out you are, how inadequate you feel. Nobody understands the fear you have, the lack of satisfaction in your life, the loneliness. Well, I understand. I've been there. I'm Lucinda Bassett, founder of the Midwest Center. I suffered for over 20 years with anxiety, depression, panic, and stress. Maybe you don't have to depend on medication and alcohol. There's a better, long-lasting, healthy way to help yourself. Please, call right now and let me send you a powerful free tape that could change your life. Call 800-500-1434, and I'll send you this wonderful free tape. That's 800-500-1434. 1-800-500-1434.
Who doesn't love summer? The longer days, baseball games, and of course, road trips. That's why Econo Lodge and Roadway Inn Hotels are giving you a free $50 gas card. With our Easy Choice Rewards program, just redeem 6 stamps for your free $50 gas card. It's one more reason to love summer. Call 800-4CHOICE or visit choicehotels.com today. We'll see you there.
Earn 1 stamp per night. Maximum 5 stamps for qualifying stay. Redeem 6 stamps between 6/1 and 8/16/07 to receive gas card. For details, visit easychoiceonline.com.
If you're on the road, there's a place that wants to give you a little cleaner place to stop today. BP. At BP, we've created a cleanliness rating system for all our stations. And so our floors, counters, pumps, coolers, and especially our bathrooms in over 10,000 locations nationwide can keep a consistent level of cleanliness. If you can have a little more comfortable place to stop, that's a little better. Stop in and see how refreshing a little better can be.
Mike and the Mad Dog, along with Charles McCord, here on the Fan across the country on this celebration weekend of WFAN's 20th anniversary. And this morning, we look back at the Imus in the Morning program and their enormous contributions to the Fan over the last 18 years and to all our careers. And, you know, we owe Don a great, and Charles and everyone on the program, a great debt for everything they've done here and done for this station. Now, the alter ego, as he's been for the past 35 years, the conscience of the program, but also, Dog, sometimes he could fly off the handle.
I didn't know this. Let's hear it.
A little bit of a Charles McCord.
Well, not without provocation.
Who can be sometimes...
Is this a legit one I'm going to hear right now, Charles?
Damn straight.
What year was it? What year was it?
Oh, I can't remember, and I don't even want to think about it.
Well, let's listen to it.
I'm Imus in the Morning, Charles. What are you looking at? I'm looking at a waste of oxygen. What in the world is going... I mean, you need treatment. Why? This whole new lifestyle, this isn't working out. Yes, it is. No, it's not. You have been absolutely out of your mind today. And why? Why are you screaming at these people? Poor little Lou. I mean, the slightest thing goes... one hair of this, and you go ballistic. What is the matter with you? Why are you... What is wrong with you? What in God's name is wrong with you? What in God's name is wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Tell me what is wrong with you. I'm serious. What in God's name is wrong with you? Nothing. Everything is wrong with you. Why do you do this? Why do you treat these people like that until we have one of these horrible episodes on the air? Because what? Let me answer.
Well,
Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what drives you to that point. Tell me. Explain it to me. It makes no sense. What? You can't answer me, can you? No, you can't because there is no answer.
Closer to the mic.
There's no answer for this. God.
Why are you screaming at me?
Because you finally drive me through this, and you do it about once a month anymore, and it's got to stop.
No.
You've got to get yourself under control.
I'm fine.
You need shock therapy. You're not fine.
I don't need anything. I simply say, Bernard gives me this dumb kid on the air who's supposed to talk to...
And I'm sure the kid didn't sound dumb. He sounded fine. You take a shot. But you don't malign Bernard then.
And then, out loud, then I'm talking to the kid, and where's Lou? Wandering around the back of the studio.
Looking for a nifty promo. So that you're...
We can't have the nifty promo. Oh, man. If I'm talking to the kid and I want to get out of it. Fine, I wish you'd get out of it. Okay, I can't. I don't know. I really don't. Well, I'm sorry, Ellen. What good does it do you to go to this Bible study? You actually preached at your church last Sunday. Yes, I did. And then to scream at me for 5 minutes. We all failed. We all fell short. Boy, you just fell short. Well, okay. Well, now turn it around on me now. No, but he's here he's having to wipe his mouth with his handkerchief because he's drooling on himself. Aren't you? Yes, I was. Stop losing in the head. Who's a fat loser? Stop, Bertie.
You're a loser. Now he's fat?
No, he's a fat head. Well, what's he done now? Took the day off. Oh, come on. He didn't take the day off. He's there. He's right there. Look at him. There he is.
One of those days.
Okay. Fine. Why did he get $300 deducted from his Christmas fund? Various little glitches. Yeah, that's all. He's down imaginary. He's down $300. Imaginary? $400. Oh, my God. Lose up. I got a lot of credit now. He's down 4, lose up 4. All right. But I'm telling you, by the time we go on vacation for Christmas, you're going to owe me money. I wish you were down 6.
Oh, but there was a dysfunctional family.
Well, you actually was that for show purposes? Of
course
or
not.
were you actually that upset?
I was that upset.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Okay. I
Darn
can
right.
never
And
tell.
nor was
You're
that
such a nice guy. I can never tell with you sometimes.
Nor was that the only time.
Great stuff. When you go off, that is great stuff. And, you know, throughout the program, many, and Imus always acted like he didn't care about sports.
No, he
loved
cared.
sports, missed nothing. Not only did he have Dog and myself on all the time, but he'd have on, you know, Sims and, you know, James Brown and all the Fox guys, all the race car drivers.
Would always protest. Well, I don't know that
he
much
knows
about
everything
this.
about it. He
Come
sees
on.
every game, saw every NASCAR, saw every ball games. Tim McCarver. But I think what he did, guys, was he, without question, brought the best out of it. I thought this was the classic of all the people he did in sports who were announcers. The classic, because they had kind of the same background and they had the same likes and I think some of the same peculiarities. His stuff with Terry Bradshaw, priceless.
Talking with Terry Bradshaw from Fox Sports, who, in his very busy schedule, has deigned to actually call us this morning. And Kurt Menefee, I thought and think, is terrific.
Yeah, Kurt's working out really good. Really good. And you know,
you don't sound like, well, wait a minute, you don't sound like you think that.
I just said it.
Well, no, I know, but there was this long, pregnant pause before you said that. Very revealing.
Like choosing my words carefully? Is that what you're saying? No. Let me explain something.
It looks like he's got a pack of hot dog franks on his neck on the back.
Well, that's the funniest thing. He could probably use the gym a little more.
He's never been in the gym.
Well, I can't say anything. He's a nice guy. I like him. But we got rid of one guy at 300 pounds, and we got another one.
Well, maybe...
Something about that seat that needs big folks. Oh, God, that hit my tick. Oh, Lord.
But he's very good.
Yeah, he's good, and he's working out really good. He's, we're getting used to him.
Who did Jillian marry?
She married an actor. I don't think he's very good looking.
You know?
Yeah. That's just my feelings. I'm just upset.
Well, who's the actor that...
I have no idea. I don't think it's Brad Pitt or anybody like that. I think she just married an actor. I don't know why.
She seems like a very nice lady.
She is awesome.
But she's a little far down the road to be hooking up with Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying?
You mean she's old?
Far down the road.
You are one to be talking about. Far down the road. You're so far down the road. Oh, we can't find it. Your wife, God bless her. She comes on all the time. I'm sure it's just a reminder you're married.
Oh, I know I'm married.
Oh, my God. Oh. You know, if you cut all that hair off, I bet your head doesn't weigh 1 pound. I've never seen anybody with so much hair and had a little old BB head. Oh, Lord.
I'm a big head. Just my hat makes it look.
Big head, my butts are far.
I'm wearing, you know what size hat I wear?
You got to be wearing, what, a 7 5/8?
An 8.
Are you serious?
No.
No, you've got a pretty young wife, so I'm anxiously awaiting the day.
What are you waiting for?
The move.
You're gonna have to get in line. Wait for that.
Oh, I don't think so. I'll just got to flash this cute little old smile and turn on that charm, and I'm in. I'm big. I'm right there. Plus, I'm a football guy. I got a feeling the wife likes jocks.
Yeah.
You know? That's why she likes you. I go back. It'd be like if we had Warner Wood. Let's go to the video. All right, there's John jumping off his horse. There you go. He'll be there in a minute. And the old hourglass in the sands of time. And down on his knees he goes. And down goes that stick cow. There you go. God, was that funny. That might be the funniest piece of tape I have ever seen in my life.
You'll never
laughed till I couldn't stand myself.
You will never see it again, I'll tell you that. Hey,
a copy of my Christmas album. I tell you one thing. I'll give to the Imus Ranch again if you will send me a copy.
You're listening to Mike and the Mad Dog on Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
And here we go, sipping to the good life. Tommy Bahama Rum is an ultra-premium rum from the beautiful island of Barbados, the birthplace of rum. Made with coral-filtered water and the finest blackstrap molasses, Tommy Bahama is the smooth, delicious rum in the cool, elegant bottle. Tommy Bahama Rum comes in 2 flavors, Tommy Bahama White Sand and Tommy Bahama Golden Sun. The White Sand is aged longer than most white rums for a silky experience with a light taste of tangy tropical fruit. Enjoy it in your favorite cocktail. Golden Sun is a darker, full-bodied rum, aged at least 3 years with hints of coffee and sweet pralines. Don't try Golden Sun straight or on the rocks. Tommy Bahama Rum, taste paradise. Tommy Bahama Rum is 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Sidney Frank Importing Company of New Rochelle, which encourages those 21 and over to taste paradise responsibly.
Welcome to Cafe Express. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'll take the egg sandwich for $3.75. Hold the cheese, so subtract 10 cents. No sausage, and that's going to save me $1. And I'll take coffee for $1.50, but no cream or sugar. What's the discount on that?
Sir?
Yeah, how much off if I skip the cream and sugar?
Rankings are the best in sports. And his other book, what was that called?
The Mad Dog 100. The best 100 sports arguments of all time.
That's got on the New York Times.
Thanks to you, by the way. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
That is unbelievable.
It's amazing that you did everything. You talked to John McCain about it. Hey, Senator, buy this book.
Well, it's a good book.
I appreciate that.
This is a cute book, even though your rankings are
You don't like the
all-
rankings?
No, they're stupid. But we'll get to that.
The rankings are fine.
Fine, we'll get that in a minute.
What, I didn't put a USFL football player in there or something?
Do you have a NASCAR ranking?
I don't, and I figured you'd be annoyed by that.
What?
No,
You heard right. I can't put NASCAR in a... Oh, what are you, crazy?
Dog.
NASCAR? What do you want to put Richard Petty in? Cale Yarborough? Nobody cares, Don. I'm sorry.
No, they don't race anymore.
I understand that, but that would be a guy historically that would warrant admission.
What bigger spectator sport in this country is there than NASCAR? Name one.
Oh, come on.
None.
Stop. I heard Carlin this morning do the
300,000 people show up for these races.
You think these guys are athletes?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you are nut Chuck. I know you don't think that.
No, they are.
You ever drive a car? You ever drive a car 500 miles?
With 150
At 190 miles an hour? Athletes.
They're 60 years old doing this, Don.
No, they're not.
They put a uniform on and away they go. I've argued this for thousands of years. You're crazy, Don. Oh, you're nuts.
Oh, my God.
You can't put the... You can't... That's an insult.
There's no NASCAR
To Rod
in here?
Laver, to Secretariat, to
Rod
Babe
Laver?
Ruth, to Babe Ruth. You're going to compare Richard Petty to Babe Ruth to Bambino? Yes.
There's no way you have a cell phone, Fred. No way.
Yes, I do.
Fred has a what? He has a cell phone? You can't work a regular phone. No, come on. I love him, but come on.
Hey,
That's the funniest thing I've heard today. Can you hear me now? What? Everybody else has trouble with imagine Fred with a cell phone.
I left it in the cow, I think.
That's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. What? I got like 5 cell minutes left.
you know what the Iraqi Army's exercise program is?
What would that be?
Every morning they lift their arms above their head and just leave them there.
And here's a little more Sid and Dog and the whole crew.
And it was brought to my attention that Dog had a little tough time yesterday again, talking about the judge who,
Well, I hear this.
the judge who may have been,
Let us all in on it, Sid.
who may have been forced to change the. Here it is. There's 2 of them. Here's the first one.
You see, the bottom line is the French judge voted for the other team because, you know, supposedly she was coerced to do so.
What?
Let's go horse.
That's why we tune in to hear that kind of crap.
Wait a second.
One time he was doing a thing about the dog track, and he was talking about to Mike about the dog chasing the duck around the track.
Wait a second.
That's why we like him.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. He'd bring up the topic again just a couple of moments later, and this is what he had to say then.
How about the fact here, Scott, how about the fact that if we find this to be accurate, that the French judge was coerced into voting for the Russian team?
That's not good.
What if you're the guest? What do you say back to him?
Yeah, how do you? Well, you just don't even say that.
No, you don't just let it go.
Are we on the air?
Are you a host?
That's not good. What did Mike didn't say anything either, right?
Well, at one point he did. He said coerced, but he didn't really correct him. That he wouldn't.
He just used the word.
Right.
You know, somebody's got to tell Francesa his name doesn't end in an R. Francesa on the Fan. Here at the Madison Square Garden Arena.
You're obviously coerced into saying that. Oh, boy.
And then, again, another guy who's made frequent visits, guys, George Carlin.
Oh, yes.
Well, please welcome now to the program the great George Carlin, who is the author of, well, among other things, the current New York Times bestseller, Napalm and Silly Putty, which is a collection of thoughts and essays and stuff of Mr. Carlin, as I pointed out, has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 3 months.
There's an HBO show coming November 17th. It'll be my 12th. It's called I Kind of Like It When a Lot of People Die. This is no surprise to you. No. Isn't this Mount Etna thing wonderful? Isn't it?
Feel good,
oh, and a ski resort. So pleasant. So good. Do they have any golf courses over there?
That's a feel-good story.
I love seeing them with the bulldozers. These moron human beings with bulldozers. Oh, we got a bulldozer and we're going to push the thing and it'll be okay. And they don't know. Their planet's in charge. You know, they get a bulldozer. Come on. It's just fun to see. And good fires out west. I know that probably doesn't please you, but as long as it's bright, I like it. Okay, so it's called I Kind of Like It When a Lot of People Die, the show. And the last piece in it, the closing piece is kind of like the title piece, and it's all about a disaster. It's how I love disasters, any kind of big problem for people, especially natural disasters, which can hardly ever be controlled. And it's how I love them. You always wish they would happen at rush hour. You know, whenever there's a thing that happens, don't you? They always say, "For this had happened at rush hour," and I think, well, why couldn't it have happened at a school, you know, or near a nursing home or something? It's more interesting. But anyway, this thing's about the fact that I like it when not only does a problem start, a disaster starts, but it leads into other disasters. It cascades, and this thing starts as a broken water main in a big city in the West, and I take this thing all the way across the country to where finally the moon explodes and outer space catches fire, and it's just great. And it's a natural progression. There's logic in it, and each place that it goes, of course, there's a remark about that place, some sort of a sociological slur about the people in that area. So I think you'll enjoy that. That's especially for you. I kind of like it when a lot of people die.
I remember when you first made the observation, so does Charles, that whenever these earthquakes or these other kinds of disasters that you've just been talking about happen, and we get a body count of there are so far 3,000.
Yeah.
And then you start rooting for the count to go up.
Absolutely. And they always find people alive. You know, they'll say, well, they're finding more people and the count is coming down, and the guy with the sonar, they found a guy was weeping after 6 weeks, he was still alive. And you think, you can't have anything. You can't have anything.
But I was struck how, trying to be brutally honest with myself, that I actually related to that, and Charles did too. We were talking about after you left. I said, you know, I mean, it's beyond black, and
I'm not proud of it.
But you know, there's 3,000. You think you know, you're happy when it gets up to double digits.
That's right.
Oh man, they got 12,000 now. That's great, isn't it?
You hear it? You're looking for big numbers. That's what we're humans. We're just humans.
And of course, George Carlin. Yeah, he is just
very, very cold.
He is out there, George Carlin. He is clever, but he is out there a long way out.
Space.
Guy's a genius, though.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You know, I remember him coming on the Ed Sullivan Show in a three-piece suit in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
So he has been, he has
Al
been...
Sleep, the hippy-dippy weatherman.
Hippy-dippy weatherman.
That's where it started.
He had been around forever. I mean, he has been, he's a kook, but he is a talented man.
He became one of the most savvy observers of the culture.
And he loved Don, man. He was on with Don a lot.
Yeah.
All right, lots to do. We're just getting warmed up. 8 o'clock hour, more Imus. We'll get some sports in, too. We have commercials and everything else, too, on Sports Radio 66.
You're listening to Mike and the Mad Dog on Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Where can you find Alpine Lace Deli Swiss cheese?
Obviously, what went on 9/11. Don was on the air at the time and did some great work around it. Let's listen to the segment as it really unfolded with Warner Wolf, who lived right in the neighborhood.
It looks like there is a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
We got Warner on the phone, who's looking at it right now.
Warner,
hi, man.
What's the deal?
Something hit the World Trade Center. I think it was a plane. I heard it right over my head, and the explosion rocked the building.
Really?
And I'm looking at it right now. The smoke is just bellowing out of the World Trade Center. I mean, it's horrible. You can see the fire. You can see the smoke. I mean, it's a monster hole. You know, the World Trade Center, there's the Twin Towers. It's the one on the right.
Right.
And it is, I mean, it's horrible. It is terrible. It's just black smoke, and on the left you can see the fire.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is...
I can see it on MSNBC here.
The whole top of the building.
There's a flame. Well, it looks like there is smoke coming from the side of the building. Oh, my God, it looks like something flew into the building.
Yeah, I heard it. Went right overhead. I was laying in bed, and I heard them. I said, boy, that plane sounds low. And then, boom, I mean, it was like a bomb. This is horrible. This is a disaster, man.
Early report here that it was some sort of, that it was a twin-engine plane that flew right into the Trade Center, but no word on if it was a commercial or private or what.
God, I don't think I've never seen anything like this.
We can tell you that two apparently commercial airliners, both apparently hijacked, we don't have much more information than that, have, been hijacked and flown into both towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, in the financial district of New York City.
A senior U.S. official says at least one of two planes was, in fact, the hijacked American Airlines aircraft, as we mentioned, en route from Boston to Los Angeles.
So the report we have now is that a bomb has gone off at the Pentagon.
In some place at a helipad, near a heliport, according to Jim Mikolashevsky, who's there at the Pentagon. There is further report now from the New Jersey State Police that all Hudson River bridges and tunnels have been closed as a precaution in the wake of this apparent double terrorist attack on the World Trade Center towers.
And if it's obviously an orchestrated,
clearly
terrorist attack, if a bomb has gone off now at the Pentagon.
Yep.
We believe now it is 10 o'clock here at WFAN in New York City, and we are watching a live feed from NBC News, and we believe that the top of the World Trade Center has just fallen off into the street. So we don't.
It apparently has the second tower that was hit in the second explosion, the second aircraft that flew into that. Apparently that.
Warner?
Yeah, it's gone.
What?
It's gone.
What's gone?
The tower, it's gone. It's gone. It collapsed. It's gone. It's not there.
The whole tower?
The whole tower, it's gone. Yeah, there's only one tower. Oh, God, this is horrible. It's gone. It's not there. It's like it disappeared. It just collapsed.
And dust is covering all of lower Manhattan. The entire financial district looks like it is covered in this enormous, undescribable cloud of dust now from the apparent collapse, or the collapse, of one of the two World Trade Center towers.
How close are you to that, Warner?
I'm looking straight at it.
Good Lord.
I'm just, man, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
No,
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
The total destruction, apparently, of one of the two World Trade Center towers.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's the worst attack on this country since Pearl Harbor.
Absolutely.
Well, the news is that both towers of the World Trade Center have collapsed. So,
the World Trade Center is now gone, and at this cataclysmic event that has happened in this country this morning.
Both World Trade Centers have collapsed. Congressional leadership's been taken to a secure location. The country clearly under
unbelievable assault.
There's no way to even.
There's no way to even begin to grasp what has happened in this country this morning.
Warner?
I saw it collapse. I just saw it as it was happening. It starts at the top and just comes right down. It was unbelievable. God.
Could you hear it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Watching it is, again, it's so different seeing it in person rather than on television.
Wow.
I saw it happen. Oh, my God. There were people. There were people falling from the building. It's gone. All you see now is smoke. Just like the biggest clouds possible. My gosh. Charles said, compared it with Pearl Harbor, they'll use, this will be a day in infamy.
Oh, absolutely.
As Roosevelt said.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Certainly. I mean, it's incalculable. You can't even think about Well, certainly what you have witnessed or what we have seen by way of television this morning.
Yeah. And, of course, then the goal, the goal before, remember when they tried to blow it up? Why?
Yeah.
Right. What's to take it down?
8 years ago, right?
Yeah. But they've taken it down. Now they've taken them both down.
Both down. 110 floors, both. 2 of them. This is a war. There's no question about it.
Wow, I had not heard that.
Neither had I. I guess I was home. I think I remember being on the phone with someone as it happened. They told me to turn the TV on, and I actually saw the plane fly into the building. But I had never heard that before, Charles. This happened while you were on the air, and as it started to unfold from your first report about there being maybe a private plane or a small craft, which was the first reports, showed you how quickly it started to develop while you were on the air, and I could see it in your face just watching this and listening to it. That, it seems like it's just as fresh as if it happened an hour ago, right?
I hadn't heard the whole thing myself until now. Boy, does that bring that
Was
back.
Don that day at MSNBC, or was he over here at the radio station?
He was here. We were right here.
So the MSNBC thing had not been built for him.
No.
But you had the TV, so you saw everything that was going on.
We had the monitors, right? So. But
how long were you on the air, Charles, before you had any tangible information or any solid information that this was what it turned out to be?
As I recall, it didn't take very long.
Once that second plane hit, you knew something was going on.
Sure you did.
And then you knew how, in one of those second or third reports, Don mentioned hijacked.
Yes.
So that had already filtered out.
Yeah,
and you guys stayed on the air until I got here, and I got here around, Dawn couldn't get here from Connecticut. I got here about 12-something, and if I didn't know one of the policemen, I was not getting here because I got to within 2 exits, and they were turning all the cars back. And they turned me back, and I stopped, and I pulled over to the side of the road, and I said, listen, guys, and the policeman knew who I was, and I said, listen, I got to get to the station. If you could just let me get up this side road here. And he said, Mike, go quick. And they let me go up the side road, and then I could get the roads in, and they were turning all the cars back before the bridge. They were turning them all back. And I stayed on the air until about 10 o'clock that night. And when I went home that night at 10 o'clock, I did not see one car.
You and I
on my way home. You and I stayed on. Yes,
and I remember that.
You and I stayed, and I did not see one car on my way home. Not one. There was not one car going in either direction on my way home.
Mikey, if I recall, I left in the evening, around 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that, and I'll never forget this. I was permitted to leave the city, and I drove across the George Washington Bridge, obviously with no inbound traffic, nothing really outbound, and I'll never forget this scene. The sun was going down, and you looked down the river, down south, and you saw, of course, the scene of the devastation, the smoke and dust and everything down Lower Manhattan, and walking across the bridge, this hordes of people making their way out, over into Fort Lee.
Because it had been one of those breathtaking September days.
No,
it was a beautiful, those September days are the nicest days of the year. Sparkling. It was one of those, sparkling's a good word. It was a sparkling September day. So I remember it was
all
just
those people,
and
they just looked numb walking across that bridge. Everybody.
Mike and I did a show in O'Kay's the day before because the Giants played the Broncos opening Monday night game of the year.
Yes, we did, Doug. And, that obviously was, something none of us will ever forget, and we lived through it. It seems like so long ago, and then when you hear that, it seems like,
Warner,
an hour ago.
Warner did a great job.
He did a terrific job.
Whose apartment was just a matter of blocks to the north of it, and he saw all of that.
He did a good job.
And you heard that last comment from Warner. He said, "This is war."
Man, he did a wonderful job.
And it is a war to this day.
He knew that at the time. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be back.
Don't go away.
Are you stressed out and tired of trying to make ends meet? Would you like to earn between $500 to $7,000 or more a month? Home Bids 5.
Fascination with these old-time preachers. He loved, and they are great on the radio or television. And you see these old-time preachers, which he had a fascination with, and a lot of people do because it's great theatrical radio. Whatever your religious persuasion may be, it is great theatrical radio.
He loved evangelical oratory.
Absolutely.
He absolutely did, and he was such an admirer. He grew up listening to, well, obviously, Dr. Billy Graham.
Sure.
He loved, remember Bishop Fulton Sheen?
Oh, absolutely.
He was an admirer of Fulton
So
Sheen.
was my mother, long time, yes.
A lot of people were. He loved him.
And Martin Luther King Sr. he liked a lot.
He adored the preaching style of Martin Luther King Sr. And, of course, then every anniversary of Dr. King Jr.'s death,
which is one of the great speeches ever. What a brilliant speech. Not only do you think he crafted that speech, Charles, or he had someone who did it?
I just don't know.
It's a brilliant. If you read those speeches, and I have a book that has all those speeches in it. You read that speech. It is so brilliantly written. It is unbelievable.
Listen, he spoke in quotations. Everything that came
he was
out
a great speaker,
of Dr. King Jr.
He really was.
But his father, apparently, who I never
heard him speak either.
But Don did, and he adored. Oh, God bless him, the late Bishop G.E. Patterson in Memphis.
And he was a great speaker.
And he was unbelievable himself. Yes.
And then after the passing of Reverend Patterson, he had the bishop's wife on.
Sister Louise, who he had been married for they were 33, 35 years. She was a dear lady. She's just unbelievable.
And she was on with Don, and let's take a listen.
Bishop G.E. Patterson, the presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ, the nation's largest African-American Pentecostal denomination, died Tuesday in Memphis. He was 67 years old and lived in Memphis. And he's the son of a bishop of the Church of God in Christ. In fact, I remember one time I talked to him, and I said, because he was so mild-mannered when you talk to him. He's so soft-spoken,
Yeah.
And then to see him preach, you all have heard him. Well, it was, there's millions of people know who he was, and we're used to watch him all the time on various television programs and so on. And he told me that he sometimes would feel his father in him when he preached. Anyway, please welcome to the program his wife of nearly 40 years, Sister Louise Patterson. Good morning, Sister Patterson. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
I'm very sorry about Bishop. And all of our prayers and wishes go with you and your family and everybody in the congregation and in Memphis there.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure being with you this morning.
I was talking with Harold Ford Jr. on, I believe, Tuesday morning, and we were talking about Bishop Patterson, and I got the impression from Harold that he was doing better, your husband.
Well, it was sort of an uphill thing this time. Sometimes he was on, sometimes he wasn't. And this last bout seems to have been the one that he just could not survive from. It was devastating this last time we went to the hospital.
He was, was it heart failure that...
Well, actually, the cause of death was stated as heart failure. But through it all, the culprit was the prostate cancer. All of the complications that arose from it caused his heart to fail. And it was so ironic that your office called in the last hours of his death. That was just, I don't know, I guess they would use the phrase mind-blowing to me, that your office would call just at the few hours after hearing from your representative. He died. And I tried to put some kind of reasoning with it, but just in the end I said, well, Mr. Imus was truly a friend to the end. And I'm truly grateful to you for the many things that you've done through your program that helped to catapult his ministry.
Well,
because you are so loved, they loved him because of how you revered and respected him.
You know, I actually sent him some money.
I know. And I think we sent a response letter back.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And I remember I was watching, one Sunday morning I was watching a BET.
This morning are out of here, then sunshine near 80. Tomorrow is sunny upper 80s, and Sunday mostly sunny upper 70s. 70 degrees, partly sunny skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Hyundai Fan Highway Patrol.
Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan across the country, along with Charles McCord, as we listen to and take a look back at the Imus in the Morning program on this, the 20th anniversary celebration of the Fan. They will have stuff all weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. A lot of sports stuff going on, too. Wimbledon and everything else. We'll get a little update from Dog as he sets up the weekend for you. For a lot of people, no work all the next week because when the 4th of July falls on a Wednesday, people basically say, you know what, scrap the week. 2 days in, 2 days out, take it on which side. So, but first, a little Fred Imus.
Well, what else, Fred? Come on, we're in a big rush here.
Well, nothing else, I got to go get did my laundry yesterday, and I forgot about it. I got to go get it out of the washer. Hope it's still there.
What now?
Yeah, I hope somebody didn't steal that quick.
Unlikely somebody will steal your laundry, Fred.
Oh, look, Fred, underwear. I'm in shape now.
I use bleach, so they probably look pretty nice,
Yeah. Well, anything else, Fred? Come on.
The brown turns to yellow.
No, there's nothing else. I just,
Did you watch the whole race?
No, I didn't watch all of it. I watched a big portion of it.
Yeah, you were busy, right?
Yeah, I was busy.
What was going on?
Well, just cleaning, and...
Cleaning?
Come on. Didn't watch all the race.
What else going on?
Just imagine that.
Well...
A team of surgeons to come in.
This,
All right, we're all here. Surround the house. Fred Imus, please.
By the way,
We're
it won't be
coming in.
long when you'll turn on MSNBC and it'll say you're looking live at Tucson, Arizona.
Hey, you got to come out here and do a remote.
Well,
You ever think about that?
Yes.
What have you thought about it after you thought about it?
I thought about we've discounted that idea.
You know why? I know why he does this. Because he hasn't seen his wife now in got to be 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I've only seen pictures. You know her better than I do, man. What would be the color of Fred's ex-wife? The color of her hair?
I believe it's blonde.
You mean on her head?
Right. So it seems to me that Fred is attacking his wife.
No, she actually went back to being a redhead. She was originally a redhead. She's back to being a redhead.
How do you know?
Well, she sent me some pictures on the internet.
In case you haven't seen me in a while, this is what I look like.
She's down there living in Andrew Cananon's old trailer.
Well, the other night, I got home and it was dark.
Yeah.
And there was a dog with me, And
You're attacked German Shepherd.
yeah, but he's pretty mellow now.
Yeah.
And it was dark out, so I didn't see this guy walking by my truck leading two little poodles,
Right.
So the shock jumped out of the truck and grabbed one of the poodles.
That's hysterical.
Good one.
Did he kill him?
No, I just grabbed him.
Right.
Let him go.
Just bait him.
After 10 stitches, they let him go.
What did the guy say with the poodles?
He was rather unhappy, actually.
See, and your dog has a history of that. This is the same dog that attacked...
So now, anytime I have this little muzzle I put on him now, so that won't happen again.
God, no.
He is lost.
Oh, I lost.
Has everyone ever been more lost? I mean, you've lived through 1,000 of those, Charles. I mean, they totally lost.
He is orbiting some planet that is not known to us.
I mean, it is unbelievable. More in the next hour as we go through and pay a little retrospective and to the Imus in the morning program. Dog, what's going on in Wimbledon these days?
Mike, not a lot. It's been a very quiet. First off, the roof is out, so I find
I'm so tired of hearing about the rain and the roof at this place. It's ridiculous.
That's why they're going to finally... A busy show already. We'll go through the NBA trades again in the course of this last hour. A little baseball for you. Set up this Met-Phillies series. Yankees and Oakland, of course, too. Track down Eddie if we can and find out about these LaDuca quotes because he's annoyed that he's the only guy, him and Wright and, maybe Sean
Yeah, you
Reed.
had that 10 days ago.
Maybe
Little
that...
birdie, huh? You got that a long time ago. We need to forget Eddie. He was close to LaDuca.
And a quote that about LaDuca is saying, and they speak, and the Spanish-speaking players, they can speak English, believe me. I mean, that's a rough quote.
Part is, folks, you got to understand, especially in a town with a lot of media, part of the thing is you might think that people want to speak, and some players do, but they, after a game, especially a bad game, the media needs to be filled. There needs to be reaction so that people can write game stories, so that people can do their wrap-up shows, so that people can have raps for the radio, have stuff for TV. Somebody has to give perspective, otherwise the other guys can't, the media can't do its job. So players understand that. Some are very good at it. Then some wind up being the guys all the time, and people will even knock them. Oh, why is he always talking? Well, he's always talking because of the fact that it's a player who has a good perspective or a player of enormous credibility. Why people flock to Jeter for the Yankee reaction because he's the man, he's the captain. Sure. Point of the matter is, La Duca winds up being that guy, as is David Wright, but they have turned it into a American-Spanish issue now with La Duca's statement. It's the same 3 or 4 people every day. Nobody else wants to talk. Some of these guys have to start talking. They speak English, believe me. And there are a lot of foreign players, not just Spanish-speaking players, foreign players who speak English well and then act like they don't, so they know that then they don't want to talk to the media. And listen, over a long season, there's a lot of times where people don't want to talk to the media.
They want to hang out in that change room.
They don't want to say anything, and people, well, they don't speak English that well. So that's always, well, don't worry about him. Don't push him. He doesn't speak English that well. So it's actually an advantage for them when they're known to be guys who don't speak the language that well.
And don't forget, the Mets have 13 Hispanic players, and I'm sure some of those 13, Andy Chavez, we didn't use him in our top 20 moments.
Because he doesn't speak that well.
I know, it's for that reason.
On the radio, it's hard. On TV, you can at least see them. On the radio, it's hard to understand them sometimes.
And in newspaper, you can get a quote. You can do it. Radio, you can't do that so much. And here's an example of a guy who doesn't speak English. Okay, fine, you live with it, no problem. But the Mets have a lot of those players who don't speak English, and they have 5 or 6 others who can't be bothered. You know, whether it's Delgado or whether at times it's Beltran, who gets a little sensitive.
And
when they get on
LaDuca's
him.
a hothead, and he's got too much to say
He does.
anyway.
LaDuca's got a lot to say, but I'll tell you, though, one thing that everybody... Mike's right on that, but I'm not there, nor is Mike on an everyday basis. The people who are there seem to like LaDuca.
Right. I think he's a gamer.
I think people, the media like, because they know first off, LaDuca's going to give him something.
First off, the media likes the guys who help them do their job. That's the first thing.
And LaDuca does that. He's always there. Win or loss, locker room, after a game, next to his locker, LaDuca's there to give you some quotes. So they like that. So there's a lot of feeling about, LaDuca saying what he's saying here is correct. Nobody else helps us. It's just LaDuca, Sean Green, and David Wright. So that might be a split, Mike, with the Mets. We have to keep an eye on that second half of the year.
Yeah, it's the first time you've heard something. And then, God bless you, you have the ESPN issue where one of the makeup artists from the now defunct Cold Pizza, which has been now called, well, I don't know the name of the show.
What's the new show?
First Take.
Something like that.
Okay, First Take.
Is now, and they pulled it in to Bristol. Where was their old studio?
It was on West Side, 8th Avenue.
So they now have taken it back up to the mother ship. That's basically a cost-cutting move more than anything else. And the show's been an abysmal
And now
failure.
it's on at 10 o'clock, right?
And it's been a total flop. I mean, they spent a lot of time trying to promote and make Cold Pizza work in a very tough morning atmosphere, and morning is extremely competitive on every level, as everyone knows. So but they've totally flopped, and the show didn't work at all. But now there's been allegations against Jay Crawford, who's the host, or was the co-host, along with a couple of the young ladies, and also Woody Page, who did the point-counterpoint and likes to come off like a wacko. I don't know him, but he comes off like a wacko on TV with Skip Bayless, and then he does that other show Around the Horn, where they sit in those cubicles and act dumb.
And that show does nothing.
It's on a terrible time, too, but I mean, it's just a silly show. But we see it, and, it's on in the newsroom sometimes on the channel during the day when we're on. But, again, I don't know what his future is there, but these allegations, ESPN is a big company, number one, and number two, owned by Disney, and the last thing they want, and they've had a lot of problems with this, Harold Reynolds, and through the years, many problems up at Bristol with sexual harassment charges. There have been a lot of cases up there within their history. That has been a big issue at ESPN.
I don't know how they feel about Crawford and Page, but, they had just signed Reynolds to a big contract, and they fired him, and obviously Harold, now you had him on here a couple of weeks ago, countersuiting, just signed a deal with MLB.com, which would make you think that the allegations against him were not, were certainly fabricated, because why would MLB, which has got a big stake in this, why would they sit there and go hire Harold Reynolds? Now, as far as I like Jay Crawford a lot. Jay's a good guy. I mean, I certainly don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about the hairdresser. I don't know Woody Page. That's a bad situation.
Well, let's just say the basic facts here. This is a makeup artist, Rita Ragone, who has filed a lawsuit charging that Crawford and Woody Page groped the show's staff, demanded lap dances as perks of the job, and repeatedly propositioned her, this Ms. Ragone, for sex, according to the sexual harassment suit filed yesterday, Manhattan Federal Court.
And so he said, she said, who knows?
I'll tell you, at the Crawford household this morning, I guarantee you
the Cheerios did not go. He's got a couple of kids.
The pancakes didn't go down well.
That was
wasn't past the maple syrup.
Yeah, sure. Probably wasn't. So that was the second thing. And we had 2 landmark moves last night in baseball. Thomas and the 3,000 hits Biggio, plus the Yankee game. They were up 4-2, and I'm going to get on wrong again. as I mentioned earlier today.
Yep.
You know, we all killed the Yankee bullpen. We killed Matsui. You know, how about getting on Wong Saturday in Pac-Bell? He couldn't hold a 4-1 lead against that woeful offense, which Mike has murdered for about 3 months. And then last night, Mike, in Baltimore, he can't hold a lead against that team. Now, the Yankees might win the game no more anyway, from last night anyway, down the road, July 27th, suspended game. But Wong, who's supposed to be a big ace, you know, Cashman wants to compare him to the top 7-8 pitchers in sport. You know what? 2 games in a row, your team is struggling. You got to do a better job of getting bombed in the 7th inning of these games.
Come on, Orioles. So what? You had to play in a little rain.
Orioles are mad by that, too.
Well, they didn't want the 8th inning to start. And in the 8th inning, the Yankees scored 4, which now becomes a suspended game. If it was washed out with the Orioles leading 6-4, the Yankees would have had another L on their list. So the Yankees did very much catch a break.
This is a rate alert for June 2007. Slower economic growth has caused the Fed to keep interest rates flat, and the market has responded with some of the lowest mortgage interest rates in years.
Wireless is America's most reliable wireless network. The New Jersey Lottery. Give your dreams a chance. Corbel Champagne. Celebrate your great moment. Pizza Hut. Want more? Get it from Pizza Hut. America's favorite pizza. Alpine Lace. Alpine Lace Deli Swiss cheese. So full-flavored you won't believe it's 25% less fat. And by your flagship station for New York sports for 20 years. The Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN New York.
I'm Tracy Burgess with the Hyundai Fan Highway Patrol, brought to you by IKEA. Hurry in now for the IKEA summer sale. Save 20 to 60% off select items throughout the store. Visit IKEA in Hicksville, Elizabeth, Paramus, and New Haven to the store or the web for details. In Manhattan, West 48th Street, in between 9th Avenue and 8th Avenue, is closed. The police say there's some sort of a demonstration going on there, but it's shutting things down. Just go around the block. Cross Bronx Expressway, westbound at the Sheraton, one lane is closed with police activity. Delays go back to the Bruckner. At the Van Wyck, southbound at Jewel Avenue, all delays have eased out now from that earlier accident. Still busy, Grand Central Parkway between LaGuardia and the BQE. And in New Jersey, on the eastern spur of the Turnpike in Kearney, northbound after interchange 15E, expect delays. Western spur, no problems to report from the split on up to the George. Okay, at the George, still 20 at the Lincoln and Holland. The WFAN 3-day forecast. Some clouds and showers this morning. Sunshine a little bit later, just not yet. 80 degrees. Tomorrow, sunshine upper 80s. And Sunday, mostly sunny upper 70s. We're at 70 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Hyundai Fan Highway Patrol.
Thank you, Tracy. Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan, along with Charles McCord. To sports. Here's the continent.
All right, Mike. Sports is sponsored by Bradley International Airport. Go easy, go Bradley. Plenty of activity last night at the NBA draft. As expected, Greg Oden, Kevin Durant went numbers 1 and 2 to Portland and Seattle, respectively. But the Sonics weren't done. They traded Ray Allen and the rights to Big Baby Glenn Davis to the Celtics in exchange for the number 5 pick, Jeff Green, and Wally Szczerbiak, along with Delonte West. Meanwhile, locally, the Nets selected Sean Williams from Boston College at number 17. And at number 23, the Knicks picked Wilson Chandler from DePaul. Made a big trade of their own, sending Channing Frye and Steve Francis to Portland for Zach Randolph, Dan Dickow, and Fred Jones. Randolph averaged 23 points, 10 rebounds last season. Also, one other trade of note, Golden State sends Jason Richardson to Charlotte in exchange for the rights to Brandon Wright. Yankees and Orioles had their game suspended due to rain in the 8th inning last night after the Yankees had taken an 8-6 lead on Derek Jeter's 2-run single. That game will be resumed on July 27th, the next time the Yankees are down in Baltimore. The Mets and Cardinals rained out. Mets will play a day-night doubleheader today down in Philadelphia. This afternoon, it will be El Duque facing J.D. Durbin, and then later on tonight, for the Mets, it'll be John Maine facing Cole Hamels of the Phillies. Quick check of the scoreboard last night. Indians 4-3 winners over the A's. Tigers 5 and the Rangers 2. Frank Thomas, career home run, number 500. Twins beat the Blue Jays, though, 8-5. White Sox 5 and the Double Rays 1. National League, Marlins 9-7 winners over the Pirates. Dodgers 9 and the Diamondbacks 5. Astros get a walk-off grand slam from Carlos Lee in the 11th inning. And they also get the 3,000th career hit from Craig Biggio. They beat the Rockies 8-5, and the Phillies beat the Reds 8-7. And that's sports. I'm Chris Carlin.
You're listening to Mike and the Mad Dog on Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
This is Steve Summers. July 1, 1987, WFAN is born. Later that night, we begin our schmooze under the covers.
And this is Joe Beningo. As Steve Summers moves to midday, I take my turn manning the overnight beginning on September 5th, 1995. Now we're celebrating our hosting the overnight for almost 18 years by doing a special broadcast from Umberto's Clan House this Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Mr. Holland. The WFAN 3-day forecast, leftover clouds, a shower in spite spots this morning, but eventually sunshine near 80. Tomorrow, sunny upper 80s, and Sunday sunshine upper 70s. We're at 72 degrees under fair skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Hyundai Fan Highway Patrol.
Thank you, Tracy, very much. Good morning, everybody. Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan, along with Charles McCord. And through the years, as we look back at the Imus in the Morning program, he's had countless, Charles, comedy performers. And one of the guys who's been hot lately is this Larry the Cable Guy, who appeared a lot on the program and has kind of taken the country by storm.
Well, the Blue Comedy Tour, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Ron White, and Larry the Cable Guy.
And they've done so well. Let's listen.
Is Larry the Cable Guy around, Charles?
Sitting right next to me.
Sitting right over here.
Get her done.
Get her done. The things you learn when you in Vegas. The things you learn.
Did you appear there, Larry? Or?
No, I was just out there hanging out. They had the new Hooters Casino out there, so of course I went out and stayed in the chicken wing for a couple weeks, and a buddy of mine got in trouble for going all in on a dealer.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it was just crazy. It was crazy. And then I hate it when you go places and you don't know where you're at, and I accidentally walked into a gay movie theater.
Wow.
It was horrible. I had to sit through Missionary Impossible for 2 hours. It was just crazy. You know, I was always a Dick Trickle fan. That was my racer.
Oh, really?
Oh, I loved him. Remember the number 90 Heilig Myers Dick Trickle? They always made fun of him on ESPN. They'd always say where Dick Trickle finished. But my grandma really enjoyed him. She was a big fan. She had a Dick Trickle mailbox for 15 years. And she was coming home one day from Sunday school and kind of spun a little bit and hit the mailbox and knocked the trickle right off the dick part of it. So kind of did you know this? My grandma's suing Carrie Underwood.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, she was coming home from some function and hit a telephone pole on the way home. While listening to Jesus Take the Wheel. Evidently, the Lord wasn't paying attention either. But I don't think you get to be a certain age you shouldn't drive cars. I got another grandma's 97, and she got pulled over by the Coast Guard last week, so... you shouldn't be driving if you're a certain age, you know. That's why I like Walmart. I like going up there and messing with the door greeters. You ever seen the door greeters at Walmart?
Oh, of course.
Good Lord, looks like they built the store around them, you know. They've been in there so long. Can I get you a buggy?
I like them though because I used to badmouth Walmart because everything they sell is made in China. But until I went to one, and you know, I mean, you can ask anybody in the store where anything is, and they know where it is.
You know what? I do too. I think it's a lot of flack, but I love Walmart because you know, I live in a small town, so it's a one-stop shop. You can get anything you want. Yeah, I love it. They ain't winning no beauty contests in there, though. I'll tell you that much. Good Lord.
No, to help all the customers, by the way.
If you think our prices is low, check out the forehead on the cashier. That's what they are. But I do love it. It's one of my favorite stores. I dated a girl from Walmart one time. She went to get a bikini wax, and they did the bottom and the top.
God, he's funny.
Oh, he's a scream.
No, he's funny.
Man,
I mean, he is hotter than hot, that guy. Man, he fills arenas all over the country.
Fortune. As are they all, but
they are filling arenas all over the country. They are funny.
He was funny there, boy.
He's got movies, got books, you name it.
All right, on this anniversary weekend, Dog, and Charles, here's what we have coming up, Dog. It begins with Richard Neer. You can comment along.
Okay, Richard, is he here?
In studio?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Yes. No line.
Here. The ISDN in Charlotte, all right?
Might have an IV in, but...
Cool.
9 o'clock, Susan Wallman.
Susan is going to do a talk show.
Tomorrow, 9 to 10.
Is Clemens coming on?
No, but she will be reporting. Tomorrow, I think she's signing in as Gloria Swanson.
Oh, God. That's the fake name on the road because all the grief that Susan took up
10 o'clock, the ageless one, Bill Mays, who will be with us for an hour.
Bill's going to do a talk show.
Still working. He'll be with us for an hour. In studio.
The old Buffalo Bill stories in the early 60s.
Absolutely. He'll hear more about that.
Yeah.
I
tell you, you should go after that. Go to Channel 5 Sports Extra.
Hey, they miss him. They miss him. He put a little energy in that show. Iron Eagle at 11?
I don't know when Iron.
I think they wanted to bring the age down under 60.
Iron, but not under 20.
Russ for an hour.
All right, Russ. Anybody working with Russ?
No, I couldn't find anyone to work with. Howie
I got an idea. How about Russ and Susan for an hour?
Oh, yeah. Have we all suffered enough? Howie for an hour from Philly.
Okay. Forgot Spencer.
Leading right into the...
You forgot Spencer.
You forgot Spencer on purpose? Oh, excuse me. Spencer's on... I forgot Spencer.
You forgot
Oh, sorry. Spencer from 1 to 2. I apologize, Spencer.
If it's anything like the pre and post, the Knicks are in good shape.
Howie for an hour, and then the Mets from Philly. And Ligori after the Mets for an hour.
Okay.
And then the big one, 9 until 2 a.m. Summers and Benigno from Umberto's Clan House live from 9 until 2.
And I know Cherney's going to be there with that. So
absolutely.
So
that's
going to
be a
good
big
show.
Extravaganza.
I think you're going to go on. I'm going to go on for a little while.
Hands off on those guys. Let them have a little fun. You know, don't overproduce.
That's a good point. You know what, Mike? Good job on your part.
You told me that.
They have a tendency sometimes to overproduce it.
Tony Page into Bob Salter, who's been here a long time doing his community affairs on Sunday morning.
94.
Rick Wolf with his, hour show on high
you know
school.
That show better than anybody.
Oh, I hear it every week. Ed Randall has the Mets and Yankee old managers on.
And I guess Ed got all the guests. Eddie, listen, he got the guests. Give him credit.
He gets guests.
Got the guests, so give Eddie credit for that.
And then 12 to 1, Eddie from Philly. And Dave Sims, who does the Mariner games from Seattle. So the Coal Man and the Soul Man
good job
together from 12 to 1.
Excellent job by Train. That's a good show. Now, they're not going to be next to each other, so that could be a little... Hopefully they can get the good wavelength.
They were rarely in the same room together anyway, so it's making a difference.
Fun show.
Mets in Philly for an afternoon game.
On Sunday afternoon. It's a big series. We'll preview it in a second.
Carlin for an hour from 5 to 6.
Okay.
And then Lampley from L.A. from 6 to 7.
How about they did a great job, FAN.
And then Near will finish it up. And then Laurie Rubinson, who's a newcomer, will take it over for Richard Near at 11 on Sunday night. So really a real 2 fun days as the fan. I'm sure they'll play a lot of bits in between. They'll give you a lot of highlights, a lot of look-backs, a lot of so you get a different feel. And then call-ins from guys like Greg Gumbel and Steve Levy and Art Shamsky and a bunch of different folks. So a very festive anniversary couple of days here as Fan celebrates its 20th anniversary. And Dog wants to mention for a second, before we wrap things up with Charles, Dog wants to mention for a second here the folks who have actually been here for all 20 years. I actually missed by 2 months. I didn't get here until August of 87, so I don't count 10. The people who have been here the whole 20 years.
Well, there's 5 on air and 5 off air. The on air is Summers, Minko, Eddie, Ann, and Ruffino. So Steve Summers, John Minko. Well, she's not here now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Good point. She's not here anymore. Right.
Summers, Minko, Coleman, Ligori, and Lou.
Right.
The folks who have been here 20 years who are behind the scenes invaluable, Dove.
Congratulations,
producing
Dove.
our show today. Bob Gelb, our producer and a great sales guy now.
Right.
We love Bob, who's got that zone chef spot.
Right.
He's lost 100 pounds. I mean, he's done a good job. Dick James, who's a trusty engineer.
Right.
Margaret Brachado, who we all love.
Margaret runs the place, absolutely.
And Georgia, how you pronounce her last name?
Josie.
Georgios. So Josie, who is a good friend of ours.
Missy Margaret is unbelievable. She runs the whole business place. She's unbelievable. And Josie in traffic, so they do a great job, Josie and Margaret.
Those 10.
Charles, a minute for you to wrap up. Obviously, as you head for vacation, your many years here at the Fan and your 18 years here as the right hand to the I-Man.
Gone but not forgotten, having left an indelible mark on this industry, an indefatigable true north friend. And as we looked at him in the rearview mirror this morning, I closed thus: warning. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear.
Are you looking forward to your little break, Charles?
Oh, absolutely.
Off to Naples we go?
Exactly after what Mikey has actually described as odd spring and into the first days of the summer.
I'll tell you something.
Speaking of vacations, we'll see Mike the Friday before the football season.
When I come back, I will say 3 things. Tee it up.
Besides thanking you guys, you've been great.
Oh, stop.
Well, you have. And I also got to thank that guy sitting in there. Mark Chernow. He's been, you talk about a true North friend. There's another.
We've been around a long time here. And Doug and I, when we come back in September, we'll begin our 19th year together. And the Fan will begin its 3rd decade. And for everyone here, we say thank you for all their contributions as we celebrate our 20th anniversary this weekend. You'll hear Dog on Monday. I will be going on vacation. As we have this weekend here, it gives us a chance to thank everyone and also, say that we're very proud of what's been built here and with the things that have gone on over the last 20 years with the Fan and with the Imus in the Morning program, with the Mike and the Mad Dog program, and every other program, Dog, that has been a big part of this station over 20 years.
It's been an honor to be associated with this radio station.
Joe's been here for 10 years. Now you got Evan Roberts. You got a little youth. All the guys who started here and went other places, including Ian, who's had a great career, including Carlin, who's had a great career. So
Brainy Weenie?
Brainy's another one. A good example. Forgot about him. You can't. He's doing the NBA. I mean, think about it. Guys who came through FAN. Ian's doing CBS. Brainy's doing the NBA. Carlin's doing Rutgers.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot more. Howie's doing Mets, doing what he wants. There's a lot of guys who moved along well from this basis here.
This station, as we talked to Jeff Smoyne yesterday, changed the way radio's done in America. There are now over 500 sports talk stations in America full-time. We were the first ever, but it would not have happened unless we had the foundation, the rock upon which it was built, which was the Imus in the Morning program. And, as Dog and I almost get ready to celebrate our 20th anniversary together, we have, had a lot of success and hopefully many more years to kind of grow old together here, which is kind of funny, but we will. And we hopefully stay healthy and watch our kids grow up and continue to have success here. But we owe a great debt of gratitude to Imus and for everything he did to allow us to let our careers flourish the way they have.
No doubt about it, Mike. And, of course, Joel Hollander gets a lot of credit. Lee Davis gets a lot of credit.
Joel and Lee.
And Eric Spitz, who has been a backbone here for a lot of years. He gives Eric a lot of credit, too.
And it has been. And let me say this in closing. Before we get to a musical bit, Imus is a show decorated with many great musicians. No one knows music better than he. And we will hear a lot of that as we take you up and listen, because the next 7 or 8 minutes of it is great stuff. But let me just say this, is that, this is something that we're very proud of. This is our team. And as we get ready to take vacations, and we'll be in and out all summer, but what we hope, and our fervent hope, and I know I speak for everybody here, is that when we come back in September, we will be a complete team again.
Charles and I were just talking about Kenny and John, and well, that is really they're wonderful ambassadors for country music and for America, and you need to get on. You need to get on the Freak Parade. I mean, you
couldn't ask for two better. Well, these guys.
These guys are just unbelievable. Y'all, please welcome once again. Big and Rich on the 8th of November.
Said goodbye to his mama as he left South Dakota to fight for the red, white, and blue. He was 19 and green with a new M16, just doing what he had to do. He was dropped in the jungle where the choppers would rumble with the smell of napalm in the air. And then the sergeant said, look up ahead. We're gonna play our guitar and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than the city of London. And if you want a little bang in your yin-yang, if you want a little swing in your tang-tang, if you want a little swing in your tang-tang, come along, come along, come along. Hey!
Big and Rich, Cowboy Troy. Thanks, you guys. All right, change the tempo a little bit. Give me a rip on guitar.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love has a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love because I thought it was fine. Then you came along and you moved me, honey. That changed my mind, but it's fine. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Baby,
like a lover should. If I'm so kind, I'm gonna tell this world that you're mine, that you're my little bit of a song. A little bit nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, drive me crazy. Feeling this grace is great balls of fire. Let's go one time.
Very long. Thank you very much. Anyway, John Malachau, thank you very much for doing this.
Well, thanks for having me.
We're ready.
So let the voice freedom sing out through this land. This is our country. From the East Coast to the West Coast, down the Dixie Highway, back home. This is our country. From the East Coast to the West Coast, down the Dixie Highway, back home. This is our country.
And maybe later on, me and P-Roy and Imus in the morning will show you around our town, baby. Yeah, this is my town. I was born, I was raised, I keep on my yesterday. I ran off like I said, it came to go with my old man. I came back, settled down, where they put me in the ground. This is my town. Yeah, this is my town.
Montgomery Gentry. Gonna do Dream Police with Bill Clinton, is that?
That is correct. I heard that my mic was off earlier, so I'd like to say hello to Lou and Bernard. And man, great to be here, Chuck. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you all for doing this. We appreciate it.
We'd like to thank Bill Clinton here, too.
My pleasure there, Richard. Great. Cheap Tricks, Levon Helmet Band. Hey, Levon, you want to introduce everybody?
You bet.
All right.
I did. Yes, sir. Right here on the bass fiddle, this is Mike Merritt. Hey, Mike. This is Larry Campbell right here, everybody playing the fiddle.
And everything else.
Yes, sir. My beautiful daughter, Amy Helm. Lucky Larry's wife, Miss Teresa Williams. Right here, this is Jimmy Bovino, the great guitar player.
Yeah.
Right here, this is Brian Mitchell on the piano and accordion. And this is Steve Bernstein on the trumpet. Mr. Eric Lawrence on the saxophone. And the man, Mr. Sammy Davis.
Yeah.
Mama,
listening to Mike and the Mad Dog on Sports Radio 66 WFAN. WFAN's 20th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless is America's most
with our best new car deals, only at consumerreports.org. Car manufacturers are savvy marketers, and they know that gimmicky gas cards and low-price financing will turn your head. But will those intriguing incentives really add up to a good deal for you? Go to consumerreports.org and get a summary of the best new car deals for free, and cut through the complication of dealer incentives and rebates. Plus, we'll show you where to start negotiating with the Consumer Reports bottom line price. Most car buyers walk onto the lot and start negotiating down from the price they see on the window sticker. The Consumer Reports bottom line price allows you to walk onto the lot knowing the price that the dealer paid, so you can get the right car at a low price. Consumer Reports does not accept advertising, so our ratings and recommendations are honest and unbiased. For your free 4th of July Best New Car Deals article, go to consumerreports.org. Expert, independent, nonprofit.
New Jersey Lottery's Mega Millions jackpot is up to $91 million. That's a big $91 million. Play New Jersey's Mega Millions today and give your dreams a chance.
It's Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts on the Fan.
10:05 on a Fan, and a very good Friday morning to you. It's the midday show. Joe Beningo, Evan Roberts, live in living color from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. 718-937-6666 is the phone number, carrying you right through till 12:55. We'll take you right up to Mets Extra as the Mets and Phillies will play a day-night doubleheader. Bobby Dwyer back at the shop, the incomparable Sugar Ray Martell up here in the booth with us in Philadelphia. And Evan, for Labor Day for the Yankees. But good to talk to you, Eddie. Be well.
All right, Dave. Good luck, man. See you later.
Thank you.
That'll wrap it up for us here. We're going to come back in Philadelphia, and we will have Mets Extra for you momentarily as we get set for the Mets and the Phillies here. My best to Dave Sims and Sal and all the boys back there for hooking us up and getting two people in two different places on the air at the same time. So we'll be back at Citizens Bank right after this.
Of ways to chill this summer, but the best way is to get the hottest deal.
WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Chris Carlin. WFAN New York.
Sports Radio
5:06 on Sports Radio 66 WFAN in New York. Chris Carlin with you, and a happy 20th anniversary to the Fan. And all of you for listening for so many years. Our number, as you know, is 718-937-6666. I am with you until 6 o'clock as our special anniversary weekend continues throughout the night. Jim Lampley later on tonight, the very first show ever heard on WFAN with Jim Lampley, who was in for Pete Franklin that day, that July 1st back in 1987, 20 years ago today. Richard Neer later on tonight as well, so as the celebration continues, your chance to chime in with your thoughts and your memories and certainly get into what's going on in the sports world today at 718-937-6666. The Met fans, the Yankee fans, there's a lot to get into, and we'll talk about it shortly. I want to just start to give you, and for a long time was a huge sports fan throughout my entire life. And the Fan, when it came around, just became the end-all, be-all. I took a year off from college in 1991 and drove for a pharmacy in Chatham, New Jersey called Hassler's Pharmacy and delivered to customers all over the place. And all I ever did was listen to the Fan, was listen to Mike and Chris, was listen to Ed and Dave and Russ and Steve and Imus and everybody. It's all I ever did. And it just never even occurred to me that I'd get an opportunity to be at a place like this. You know, when I went to college, I went thinking that I was going to go and be a lawyer. And I went to Hobart College in upstate New York. And it didn't take long to figure out that wasn't going to happen. My first political science class, pretty much, I knew that it wasn't going to be for me. And my fall term, that freshman year, I met a kid on my hall named Josh Lytle, and he came up to me. He worked at the radio station, and he said, Chris, you know a lot about sports, don't you? And I said, oh, I think I know a little bit. Yeah, sure. You know anything about football? Well, yeah, absolutely, I do. Well, here's the thing. Hobart's football team, they needed a color commentator for their broadcasts because the man who did the job was a former player. And a couple of nights earlier had been at a bar in downtown Geneva, New York. And he was pretty drunk, to be frank. And some guys were having some fun with him. So one of them goes up behind this guy and pulls his pants down as a joke. So this guy, drunk, huge, a little bit belligerent, turns around, punches the first person he sees. Not a good idea. Off-duty police officer. Needless to say, he was removed from the broadcast team. So they needed somebody immediately, and Hobart was not this great communication school, not this place where you went to go into radio. And I thought, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Why not? It'd be fun. Screw around a little bit on Saturday afternoon, watch a Division III football team that stunk at the time, lose every week, but have fun with it. Took me a minute to fall in love with it. It was great. It was as good as it got. As good as it got. And I started to figure out that I could do this for a living. And then I got an internship here in 1995 after I graduated college. And I couldn't believe it. I was just stunned to be walking in to this place that I had idolized my entire life. And I've been here ever since. And I've been incredibly fortunate and have been in love with this place since day one. And I guess the point of it is, I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for giving me a pretty good life. It's not bad when you go to work and it's not work. And the only reason that I'm here is because you guys listen to this radio station and have made it the success that it's become. You guys are the key. You guys are everything. And we appreciate it. We really do. 718-937-6666. You being the key, we're going to hear from you because you're what it's all about. Any memories you have, you can get into the Mets and Yankees today if you want. Whatever you want to talk about at 718-937-6666. In just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by somebody that is a very big part of the history of this radio station. That's coming up in a little bit, too. But right now, let's just get to you. Alan in Belmore starts us off on the fan. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? It's nice to have this opportunity. Long time, first time since the days of Pete Franklin. I understand that you guys have actually been talking about Franklin. I haven't heard it over the past few days. But, I mean, this was the guy who was the most irascible announcer you could find on radio. And he put you guys on the map. I'm just wondering, what's he doing these days?
Pete Franklin passed away a few years ago, unfortunately.
Really? Because somebody just told me the other night that he was broadcasting in San Diego.
No,
I'm very sorry to hear that.
No, he went to San Francisco and was very successful there on KNBR, their big sports radio station, and passed away a couple of years ago. But Pete Franklin was supposed to be the very first show that you heard. Pete was actually sick day one and couldn't do it. But Pete, from top to bottom, was just hysterical and would scream up and down. I mean, Pete was just as fun as it got. Let's take a listen to Pete.
The guy that hosts the show a little before you.
Well, the hell with the guy that hosts the show a little before me.
It's not just him, it's the
hell with the guy who hosts. You're talking to me right now. I don't want to hear calling me up about something you heard somewhere else. Now, you got something to say to me? Say it to Pete Franklin. Damn it, I'm not a clone. I'm not a robot. I don't give a damn about the crap on before, afterwards, or somewhere else. This is me. I'm on now. Do you understand that? I don't give a damn about the screwy computers in this day and age. I am me. I am on the air right now. If you didn't like what you heard before me, respond to that sucker.
Okay.
Respond to him. Don't get on here and tell me what you heard elsewhere. I don't want to hear what the hell you had heard elsewhere. There ain't nothing on there elsewhere worth a damn anyhow. This ass is worth a damn. I'm worth a damn.
Right.
If you don't think I'm worth a damn, screw you. Don't waste your time. Don't call me up. Don't listen to WFAN 1050 on your dial. WFAN 1050 on your dial. 1050 WFAN. WFAN. And now the WFAN weather with WFAN's Dennis O'Mara on WFAN traffic on WFAN.
And I'll tell you, he was one of a kind, and he was just as entertaining as could be. I'll tell you, and you know, and he's of course that fire me rant that he went on too, and it ended up being Mike and the Mad Dog. So I guess things worked out for everybody. It was strange that Pete never really translated.